Hello everyone, welcome to my channel English Lessons by Nupur Bakshi. Today we are going to study the third part of chapter 1, class 8th NCERT, and the name of the chapter was The Best Christmas Present in the World. In this third part, we are again going to go to the narrator from where the chapter had begun. You remember, so the narrator had found a letter which was stuck in that roll top desk. And now we are going to see that what's going to happen with that letter. So let us read. I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into its envelope. I kept awake all night. By morning, I knew what I had to do. So you remember that he had found a letter which was written to Mrs. Jim Macpherson, whose name was Connie. And now the narrator is thinking that what should I do with this letter? So I folded it back and kept it, and then I went off to sleep. When I woke up in the morning, my mind was clear with the thought, and I finally knew that what I have to do with this letter. Okay, so I drove into Bridport. Bridport is the place where Connie lived, okay, just a few miles away. I asked a boy walking his dog where Copper Beeches was, house number 12. And that house number 12 turned out to be nothing but a burned out shell. So you remember that the desk was all burnt from one side, and now when he reached that particular house, he saw that it was nothing but a burnt leftover house. So he just stood up there and he saw that there was one more house next door, and he decided to knock that door. And when he knocked the door, he asked that there was an old man who came out, and he asked that did he know where Mrs. Macpherson was. And obviously that old man knew Mrs. Macpherson very well, and he said, a lovely old lady, he told me, a bit muddle-headed. Muddle-headed is a person who is always confused, and when a person grows older, when the age increases, the confusion, the clarity in the mind decreases and the confusion increases, and that is why this word muddle-headed was used by that old man for Connie. And he said that she was a lovely lady, a little bit muddle-headed, a little bit confused, and then he said that at her age she has complete right to be confused. She had been in the house when it caught fire. No one really knew how the fire had started, but it could well have been the candles. Now the old man is describing further that this house caught fire when Connie was actually inside it, and he said that definitely that there is a chance, nobody knew the exact reason, but definitely there is a chance that Connie loved to use candles, a lot of candles. Instead of using electricity, she preferred to light candles, and maybe that was the reason that the house had caught fire that night. The firemen came in time and they rescued Connie, and they took her to a nursing home. The fireman had got her just out in time. She was in a nursing home now, he told me. Burlington House on the Dorchester Road, on the other side of the town. So wherever he was right now, the place Bridport, on the other side of the town was Burlington House, which was a nursing home where Connie was kept. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. There were paper chains up in the hallway, and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner of a lopsided angle on top. I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. So now finally the narrator has reached the nursing home where Connie is there, and now he is describing the place, that there is a corner with a lopsided angle. Lopsided angle is which is a bit bent, okay, and there was a Christmas tree on that, and it was decorated like all the Christmas trees are. And then he said to the person who came to attend him that I am her friend and I want to see her. I could see through the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. So obviously it's a Christmas time. It was Christmas time and everybody was enjoying. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. She even offered me a mince pie. She walked me along the corridor. Mrs. Macpherson is not in with the others, she told. And then she is rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. So the matron is the person who takes care of all the people, and she's saying that everybody is enjoying, but Mrs. Macpherson is feeling a little bit confused today, so we thought to let her rest. She had no family, you know, no one visits, so I'm sure she will be only too pleased to see you. She took me into the conservatory where wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left me. So she left the narrator to a place to call Mrs. Jim Macpherson. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair. So Connie was now old. She was 102 years old, and she said that she's described to be sitting in a wheelchair. She was gazing out at the garden. "Hello," I said. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. Vacantly means she did not have any clue to at whom she was looking at. So she was vacant, okay? And "Happy Christmas, Connie," I went on. "I found this. I think it's yours." So now he's just handing over the letter to Connie, and he's saying that "I found this. I think it is yours." As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. So she was amazed to see this man with the letter she had forgotten in the desk, and all that accident happened and it had remained in that desk forever. And now this letter had finally found Connie. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. That was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became suffused with a sudden glow of happiness. And as soon as she saw the tin box, suddenly all the memories came back to Connie, and she was she was extremely happy to see the letter. I explained about the desk, about how I found it, but I don't think she was listening. So she was too happy to see the letter, and she was not listening to what the narrator was trying to tell her. For a while, she said nothing, but stroked the letter tenderly with her fingertips. So stroked the letter, she was constantly touching the letter to just feel the warmth of her husband. Suddenly she reached out and took my hand. Her eyes were filled with tears. "You told me you would come home by Christmas, dearest, and here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. Come closer, Jim dear, sit down." So now the lady, Connie, is thinking that the person who is giving her the letter is no one else than Jim. I sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. "I read your letter so often, Jim, every day. I read your letter." So she is telling Jim, and she is thinking that the narrator is nobody else than Jim Macpherson, her husband. And she is telling him that you were not there, and every day there was no moment that I did not read your letter. I kept reading it after, very frequently. And now you are back. You can read it to me yourself. Would you do that for me, Jim? I just want to hear your voice again. I would love that so much. And then perhaps we will have some tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. I know how much you love marzipan. So then finally this chapter ends with a note, and it keeps the readers in confusion, and maybe we can assume that Connie had thought that the person who is giving her the letter is no one else than her own husband, Jim, who had not come for so many years. Now he is finally back with the letter, and Connie is more than happy. And then the narrator also is very understanding, and he did not immediately tell that no, I am not your husband, and he cooperated with that lady just not to make her unhappy especially on a Christmas day. So I hope you have understood the third part as well. There are a few questions. I'll just take you through. One is, why did the author go to Bridport? So finally you remember that when he just unfolded the letter, and then he was looking at it, and then he folded it back, and he thought that what should I do with this letter? And finally in the morning when he woke up, he decided that he will go to Bridport to return this letter to its owner. How old was Mrs. Macpherson now? Where was she? So now the age of Mrs. Macpherson is told that she is 101 years old, and now she has been taken to Burlington Home Nursing Home. Okay, so Burlington Nursing Home, and which is the place? Burlington Nursing Home, and her age is 101 years old. And then the next question here is, who did Connie McPherson think her visitor was? So Connie McPherson thought that the visitor was Jim McPherson, her husband. Which sentence in the text shows that the visitor did not try to hide his identity? So I sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. So this sentence tells us that Jim, the narrator, did not oppose and did not want to hurt Connie, and that is why he sat down beside her just to make her comfortable and just to give her that little happiness that she had been waiting for so long. So this is the end of chapter 1, and then I will be putting a video with the question answers of this chapter. If you have any doubts, kindly post your doubts in the comment sections. Till then, take care.